Hello, and welcome to another day of English 2. I'm your online teacher, Miss Abear. We have been working on an argument unit from Common Lit about graffiti. Is it art or is it crime? Today, our lesson is the problem with graffiti. As a reminder, this is a Common Lit unit on the Common Lit 360 website that is specifically curriculum, which is high quality instructional materials that Common Lit has put out for teachers and students alike so that you have quality instructional materials for your classroom. Our essential questions are, is graffiti a work of art or a crime to be punished? And how do we decide? So I want you to share out, I want you to think back at the last text that we read. Do the reaction of the Houston city government graffiti is justified? Why or why not? Those are some fantastic answers. Guys, I love that you are engaging in this discussion. You love this unit as much as I do. Let me tell you real quick why I love this unit so much. I went to Spain when I was in college, and one of my favorite activities that entire time was walking around the city and looking at the street art. And some of the street art was incredible. Just like when you go to a museum and you see these beautiful pieces of artwork out there in the museum, these street artists, I would say, are as good or better than some of those museum artists that I saw in the same areas. So that's why I love this unit so much, because I love the idea of graffiti, because not everyone is going to get the attention that some of these museum people are going to get. Today, you're going to look at, however, kind of this idea of a problem with graffiti, because not all graffiti is created equally, right? I think we can all kind of come to a consensus with that. We don't all love it the same, and we all like different aspects of it, just like the artwork that you see in museums. Some of us like that stuff and some of us don't. It depends on what your taste of art is. So again, we're going to be building on the idea of the understanding of the negative impacts of graffiti, because there are, you saw with the idea in Houston that some of these counties, some of these cities, some of these states are encountering costs that are really eating away at other things that these cities could be doing. And so we're going to be looking at those negative aspects of graffiti. And so today, as like the other times, you're going to be reading and answering questions independently by yourself. We're not going to be walking through these. Why is that? Why are we not walking through these? Guys, we are far enough in the school year where you should be reading more and more independently. You should not be relying on your teacher to read these texts to you, because you are, you should, by the end of the 10th grade year, be reading at that 10th grade level. And all of these texts are written at a level that are appropriate for you. Again, I want to remind you about those skills that we are honing in on, those key details and examples that develop the central idea. So as you read this article, I want you to be thinking about this unit's argument prompt. Should graffiti be protected? And so now I want you to read the article, The Problem of Graffiti. Again, you're going to read this independently, and I want you to make sure that you answer the questions in the margins, as well as, or we'll wait, when you get finished, we'll talk about the graphic organizer and the questions at the end. But for now, I want you to read the article and answer the questions in the margins. Great job. Now I want you to pull out your graphic organizer. Remember, we have been looking at this graphic organizer and filling it out. You should have kept up with it. And you're answering those same two questions with every article. Should graffiti be protected? You want information and examples and evidence of why graffiti should be protected. You also want examples and evidence of why graffiti should not be protected, and that's for every article. You want to fill out both sides. Again, make sure that you are quoting, or if you're summarizing, either way, make sure you put the paragraph number beside the information that you got that information from, so that when you write your essay, you're ready to do those in-text citations. I'm going to give you about 5 or 6 minutes to complete your graphic organizer, and then we'll come back together for that last part. Great job. I love that so many of you are getting really what I call into the weeds with the information on your graphic organizer. You're filling out so much information. You may have more information than you're going to need at the end, which is just going to make your argument essay so much better. So as always, we need to practice independently so that when we get ready to take this end of the year test in English 2, that you are prepared for it. So I want you to answer the questions at the end of the problem of graffiti. There's only 4, so it shouldn't take you but about 4 or 5 minutes. Great job. That is all that we have for today. Until next time, happy reading and happy writing.